Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing another video for the FIFA 19 title update. This is the fifth title update, as you guys can see here. So I'm curious to see what they do to their game. I just woke up right now, so it's always like this, right? When these videos come out, I'm always tired because I just wake up, you know. But we are gonna do a review for this patch. Hopefully, they have some big changes. I'm assuming they're not gonna add a lot of things. Like, I don't think they're gonna really do that big of an adjustment for time finesse shots and stuff, because if they do that, then they would have to nerf defensive AI and make 1v1 shooting way better than it is right now. So I don't think they're gonna do that. But hopefully they did add some specific things that would be very good. So gameplay stuff. The two changes to this title update that we want to focus on are a change to some first time finesse shots and a change to the elastical skill move. So the patch for this one is for the time finesse shots, first time finesse shots, and the elastical skill move. Okay, so first time finesse shot is basically like when the ball's coming from behind you, or that direction, and your player just hits it right away. He could literally be off balance, like you guys saw in the FIFA competition. Your player could be off balance and still hit that shot from a first time finesse. So those shots are a little bit ridiculous. Those shots are not going to affect me too much because I barely, if not ever, used it. I used it in situations that it actually made sense, right? Like, for instance, if you're making that extra pass inside the 18-yard box to the sides, and Salah is left-footed, right? So when he's cutting in inside the 18-yard box, then they would hit that first-time finesse, because that would make sense, right? If you're in a situation like that in real life, you're going to hit that first time. It's the ones from outside the box that were just ridiculous, right? But when I hit them, it's usually when I create that extra space and then I get inside the box and then I hit the time. I don't even do a time finesse. I just shoot the ball and it goes in, right? So I won't know. I It'll be a difference. I don't know what they did specifically. There will be a difference, for sure. But as we know, 1v1 finishing was changed, but very slightly, and it still sucks. And defensive AI literally feels almost the exact same, with maybe a few tweaks here and there that are noticeable, but not like significant, right? So don't look into these patch notes too much, because this finesse shot could still be very effective, because in previous patches they didn't really get adjusted too much, man. Like, driven shots with your right foot and driven shots in general can just get completely scuffed. So let's see what they got here. We have seen the feedback coming from the community that the effectiveness of first-time finesse shots was too high. That's a fact. They should be effective if you're inside the 18 from good angles. Like, if it's like a realistic angle where Salah is cutting inside and the fullback is not reading that cut inside from Salah, and Salah's in front of the player, and he's got a 1v1 situation with the goalie, hitting a first-time shot there shouldn't be an issue. But outside the box, when you just made that one pass and they would just shoot it right away, yeah, that was definitely a problem, and really, really annoying, because everyone was abusing it and it was stupid. Okay, so we have reduced the effective we have made adjustments to reduce the effectiveness of first-time finesse shots where the ball is being received by the player from behind. So again, I always yawn in these videos. I apologize. When the ball's coming from behind, when they finesse shot it, coming from behind, finesse shot it, right? That's the ones that are really annoying. Where the ball's being received from behind. In this title update, we continue to make adjustments to shooting, reducing the effectiveness of first-time finesse shots where the lateral ball velocity is high. To understand this change, we first need to talk about what we mean by lateral ball velocity. In the context of this change, the lateral ball velocity is a difference in degrees between the incoming angle of the ball when it is being received by the player and the angle of the ball leaving the player as they take a shot. It's important to note that the angle of the ball leaving the player is not the same as the target of the shot, as the ball can curl or swerve after it has left a player's foot from the shot. So as an example, assuming that the angle of the ball leaving a player's foot from a shot is 0 degrees and the ball is coming into the player at 75 degrees, and the lateral ball velocity will be 75 degrees. With that out of the way, let's dig into the actual change. A first-time finesse shot with a high lateral ball velocity is now more likely to be impacted by error, resulting in potentially less accuracy. Ball speed in addition ball speed and ball spin, excuse me. I'm tired, so that's why I'm not reading this properly. In addition, the impact that a player's finishing attribute will have on reducing the chance of error of these shots has been reduced. While this change can affect all first-time finesse shots, the change is most impactful when lateral ball velocity is 90 or 270 degrees. 90, 270 degrees. That's the way. Hitting it like that. Okay. The full range of impact for the change is 0 degrees of 180 degrees lowest to 90, 180 degrees to 270. Okay. To better illustrate how this change plays out before title update. Yeah, so that's the one exactly. So it's when your player is approaching from a 90 degree. So 90 degree. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Okay. So first time from a 90-degree angle. So more shots will be directed more into the left side. So if they're directed, because here's the thing, if it's directed in this position right here, that means that the goalie saves it at least, right? Okay, so I don't know how this is going to play in game, but this still looks like it's too concentrated. So the shots, because the thing is that there's a lot of shots going towards the goalie, which is great, right? But it's and these ones are right here because that means that the goalie will save it. Yeah, this is something that you have to try out when the patch actually comes out. Because this is from a 90-degree angle. They need to show all the angles. They can't just show these angles. Like 90 degrees is when you're facing completely up or completely down, which is what he's doing. He's facing completely down. But he needs to show when you're facing that direction right there. And that direction right there with his strong foot, weak foot, 4-star weak foot, you know? Okay. Because it still kind of looks very similar. Like I get it, you see the more red lines, but I'm basing it off of the patch for the 1v1s because the 1v1s was super concentrated and it's actually not concentrated at all. This is something we're gonna have to try out in the patch because I'm looking at it and like there's more shots here, and the concentration of the shots here are a little bit less. But there's a lot going out, so we'll see how that works out. So skill moves. The feedback from the community was that when executing the elastical skill move, the ball is traveling too far away from the dribbling player. We have adjusted the distance that the ball moves away from the player when executing this move to keep it close to the dribbling player. Below you can see a video comparison of 5-star skill players after the title update. After the title update, the ball stays much closer to the dribbling player. Oh, you get instant control. Oh, yeah, okay. I see that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely see that. Because the transition of skill moves is all about acceleration, right? So you could see on the first one that there is this animation that slows you down. So watch the first one right there. See, slowing you down, slowing you down. Look at the way he's touching the ball. You can't, in the second version, you can't just like touch the ball like boom and then dribble, right? The second one you can do that, you know. You do the skill move itself, ball's closer to you, you do the skill move, you're finished, transition into the play. That's cool. The thing is, though, is that this is a 5-star skill, and this is only relevant for the 5-star skillers. And the only meta 5-star skillers are like Neymar and Ronaldo. Because like if this was like a 4-star skill, then this would be more relevant. But for Ronaldo and Neymar, it'll definitely help, because the thing about this skill move, right, is that I'm not necessarily saying it for this position, but you can say it for this position. Since the ball doesn't go so far away from you now, I wonder if people asked for this to abuse this more. Because when you look at this skill move, right, you see how he's facing at a 90-degree downwards, right? This might make finesse shots quicker to use, because you could see that it's the way that the ball positions itself when the skill move is complete, right? So you can see that if you're, let's pretend he's not down here, but he's actually up here with his right foot, right? And he does that skill move. The angle that the ball finishes from the skill move is perfect to do a finesse shot. So players like Ronaldo and Neymar, because this little bounce that they did here kind of prevented it a little bit, because there's a transition period where the defender can easily get the ball. If gameplay was consistent and it was always good, like the game felt fine, this would be okay. But this will be annoying if your game feels like shit, because the defending will just be sliding, and you're kind of just like giving an extra space. Like if someone has Ronaldo and Neymar, you're just giving them an extra reason to use the skill move, right? Because the acceleration that it puts on the ball to get into a certain position to hit that finesse shot is going to be more effective. So I'm wondering who they got this feedback from, because yeah, I get like even if it was just like general people saying like they wanted this fixed, I get it, because this little transition right here, it's easier for the defenders to get the ball off them, right? But this also makes it more effective for finesse shots to be good. So that could be a problem in both ways, really. Because right now the new skill move, that's the croqueta, right, where you're holding LB and then you're holding the right stick in a direction. That puts the ball in a direction for the finesse shot already. That's one of the acceleration moves for it, right? So it's just interesting to see how it's going to play out. I'm really curious about this one right here, because I keep looking at it, right? Because from the first patch notes, or for the third one, excuse me, I'm trying to see like where the community pitch notes. Okay, so it was finishing was the third one, I think, right? Because here's the thing, right? Okay, so they're showing these shots. Because look, this is what I'm comparing it to, right? This is supposed to go over the bar more. I don't know who's taking these shots, but these shots were still effective even after this patch, and we all know this, right? I don't know who's taking these shots, but if you're going over the bar, it's clear that you're just putting too much power. It's not because it's being inaccurate, you're just putting too much power. Because if you put the right amount of power into your shot, you genuinely hit it every single time, right? Right, so this one right here, this didn't happen. It didn't feel like it did, right? But you can see it's more concentrated before from the defender. This is pressure of a defender being in front of you. This is after the patch, but this has just not been noticeable at all. I don't like that the shots that they used to show this was the outside the foot shot. I think that's the problem. The variations of shots I need to show is an inside touch, strong foot finesse shot, 90-degree angle. So I was about to use my hands, right? Because I'm stupid. 90-degree angle going downwards and to the left this closed area, like imagine your player is like this or like this little closed area. When you take the touch on the inside, they need to show the driven shot across goal, the regular shot across goal, the finesse shot from cutting inside and shooting with your strong foot, the finesse shot from cutting inside and shooting with your weak foot on a 3-star, a 4-star, a 2-star, just to see the difference, right? Because in all honesty, man, 1v1 finishing, I don't even give a shit if you have a 2-star weak foot, right? If I cut inside and I'm 1v1 the goalkeeper, I think it should be going in. Only because of how many mechanics that there are. That's just ridiculous ways to score in this game. Time finesse shots, crossing B. Listen, crossing, I hate crossing because it's not skilled. It's completely random. People just cross the ball and they score the goal. It's stupid, right? But if you're going to have that in your game, your 1v1s literally need to be overpowered. Like if I have a 2-star weak foot and I get not from this distance, that's too far for the weak foot. I'm talking about like when you're right here and you take the extra touch inside. Yeah, you should be able to score those opportunities because of your game mechanics. If your finesse shots and your crosses weren't so overpowered, I wouldn't really care, right? But the examples that they show, it can't be outside the foot shots because those shots don't happen often, right? So this is what I'm comparing it to. You can see the concentration of the shots from the 1v1s. It's an outside the foot shot or a lace shot, right? But it's if you could tell that it's a finesse shot, it's an outside the foot finesse shot, outside foot shot, because of the way he's approaching the ball and the way that the ball's curving on the top side, right? More concentrated. Concentrated, yes, but from the outside the foot finesse. There's no specific way to do the outside foot finesse, right? It just happens if it happens. So this is not the best way to show your finishing, right? This is like a little bit misleading, really, right? Because it's an outside the foot shot. You have to show it touching inside and hitting it with his weak foot, right? Because this is not a specific mechanic, right? We can't just like hold a certain button for us to do an outside the foot shot, or else that's what we would do all the time, right? This is completely inconsistent. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like when I look at the pitch notes for number 5 in regards to those first time finesses, it could just be very similar because the examples that they show here, they need to show examples from someone that can hit them consistently. You know what I'm saying? Because in that last patch, the fact that it goes over the bar, that's because you put too much power. That's not like accuracy of the shot, because even though it went over the bar, you could see that he was still hitting it over the bar because you were just putting too much power into it, right? So that's why it's a little bit concerning. Like it could still be the same, and the concentration is still, for me, it still looks too good. Because only certain players can do this in real life. Hitting the ball from a first-time shot at a 90-degree angle it's a very difficult skill to put the bend on the ball. People like Coutinho, Messi are a few players that I can name that can do that. It's very difficult to pull off this type of shot in real life in general. And even in the video game, it's just too overpowered. Like you can't have these shots be more effective than your 1v1s. You know what I mean? So I still think the concentration needs to be less, personally. You know, like it would make sense if this is the concentration for players like Coutinho, but for the general player, I'm not so sure. I'm not trying to be negative, guys, but I mean, because they are still doing the title updates, and obviously they're still working on specific things. It probably takes longer than usual, but I don't know, man. Like, I respect this dudes like Zaro and Corey. I respect these dudes a lot, but I just think that like the way that they bring these updates out is just too slow. Like this is like one of the last things I even thought about. I didn't even think about this. The Elastico being improved, and now like Neymar and Ronaldo can probably finesse shots. Like just do this skill move at a 90-degree angle. Boom, you got that acceleration skill move for yourself, and you can just, you know. So I wonder who asked about this one. But the concentration on first time finesse, this is something that we need to try out in game, because I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. But that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. It's a pretty insignificant patch. I don't want to hear the things where it's like the gameplay is faster, slower, or any of that, because guys, that's just inconsistent gameplay, right? Like it's, as you guys know from the video, it's been found out that it's not coded into the game, but it's miscoded into the game. right? It could be a combination of the server and the game just not working well, but it's definitely not just the server, right? So the inconsistent gameplay, if it's slower for you, it's not because of the patch. It's just because it's inconsistent. Like you're gonna experience gameplay that's gonna be fast and responsive at some point, right? It's not gonna be always slow for you, right? But that is included the video for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Not a crazy patch, but I just wanted to see the concentration of the shot. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out, dudes.